Hi, this is Rack, and today I'm going to show you how to mod Resident Evil 2 Remake. More specifically, I will show you how to replace character models, but the process is actually also the same for objects and also for the textures. Basically, I'm going to show you how to mod any model and textures in Resident Evil 2 Remake. The process is pretty much the same for every RE Engine games, except for Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is a bit different from the newest titles. Um, and you can also use this to mod Devil May Cry 5, because I think that's exactly the same engine. And then also Resident Evil 3 Remake, Resident Evil 8, Resistance, and Reverse when it will be released, of course. But we already modded the beta actually, so it's possible. I'm going to try to cover any information in this video, so it'll be kinda long probably, and it will have a lot of cuts, so I'm sorry about that. I hope that's fine for you. So let's just get into it. Okay, the first step obviously is extracting the game's files. So I will put the link to this Resident Evil modding forum thread where Fluffy Quack released his retool, which is basically used to extract the game files. And here you can see a whole bunch of links. These are links to the game's file lists, which are needed to extract the game's files because they contain the names of the files. The first one for RE2 is probably the most complete, so you should download that, probably. Okay, so now we can already start extracting the game's files. RE tool, you unpack that, yeah. And then you unpack this. Okay, so what you have to do now is to basically just copy this and this to the game's directory. So you go to Steam, Steam Apps, Common, and then your Resident Evil 2 root folder, and you just paste everything in here. I had them already there. Then you do the same for the file list. Just place it here. Okay, and after you've done this, all you have to do is to just do extract pack dot. No, sorry, sorry. You have to drag and drop the pack file that you want to unpack. So you just drag this here, and then it will start unpacking all the files, as you can see. And you can also do this with the DLC packs, because they are actually separate. Like some of them are for the Elsa Walker DLC, for the outfit DLCs, and you can just unpack them by you can either like copy this in the main root, or you can copy the RE tool and file list in this folder as I did like here, and then extract the files as usual. Okay, so next step is downloading this. This is the main thing you need to mod this game, basically. This is the Noesis plugin, which is an extremely powerful Noesis plugin. It can do a lot of things. The author is Alpha Zomega. I don't know how you pronounce that. Sorry, Alpha, if you're watching this. So yeah, this is basically the most important thing you need if you use Blender to mod the game. We are here for this, because if you're here, it's because you use Blender, and I'm going to show you how to do this using Blender. Okay, so you just go to download here, and you can download this. And obviously, I don't think I need to say this, but you need Noesis before this. If you want to find Noesis, you just type Noesis 3D probably, and you can find it. Yeah, Rich Whitehouse. which is the owner of the tool. You just download this, the zip file. It's not an executable. It's just a zip file with old files for Noesis for you to just unpack, and then you can use it on the run. Okay, so you just download the Noesis plugin. You can put Noesis in any directory. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the path of the plugin, because you'll need to copy the plugin, then go to wherever you place Noesis, Noesis plugins Python, and this is where you paste the plugin. This is, you see, I have it here. Okay, and now we can wait. Before I go ahead, I should show you something else, which is the RE2 Ultimate File List made by GTG's Kitius, if that's how you pronounce that. This is a very useful website, useful thread, because here what GT has done is to basically list all the names of the characters, objects, weapons. So if you're unsure of where an object is in the files, you can refer to this thread to find everything you need: player models, enemies, weapons and ammo, items, the stages, and then these are the Ghost Survivor hats. I never used them. By the way, I forgot to actually do something, which is when you extract the files, you should find this RE chunk 000 folder with the natives folder, x64, and here you can find old folders of old games files. I don't think they are old games files. It's probably like 98% or something. Basically, the way we make file lists is that we play the game with a DLL, and the DLL will make a file list with all the files that are actually being loaded into the game. So I think it's actually impossible to get 100% all the files, but I don't think you will ever even need to edit the files that are not in the file lists, so you shouldn't worry about that. Okay, so I think now we can pass on the fun, probably. Okay, before actually going to Blender and doing your stuff, you should probably go with Noesis on the files that we extracted. RE chunk. Okay, so basically, when you are making a mod, obviously you need the original object to work with, because you need the name of the mesh, the skeleton if you're modding a character, and you need to know the original file name. So what we're gonna do, in this case I'm going to assume that you want to do a character mod, so I'm going to show you how to mod a character, which will be clear. So we go to character, player, PL1000, oh god, I can't speak English today, PL1000, and then you double click on mesh. Okay, so you're probably going to wonder what this window is for. This is to load the materials. So if you click on cancel, it will load the model without materials. You can see it has no textures, no shading, no anything. Instead, if you press OK, it will load all the materials, so it's also going to take a little bit longer. Okay, it's done. You can see there are all the textures. This is not really, this is only useful in case you don't want to bother reassigning all the textures in Blender. I mean, I think you actually still need to do it anyway, because Blender doesn't recognize the Noesis materials, I think. So yeah, we just need the original model without the materials. We don't really need that. Also, let me actually show you something. If you want to actually extract the model with the materials, you go to File, and instead of Export, you do Export from Preview. Because if you just do Export, it will only export what's inside the file that you selected. But obviously the textures are not in the file that we selected. The textures are though previewed in the window here. So in the preview, more files are loaded. So basically, if you do export from preview, it will export all the files that are being loaded on the model. I hope this wasn't too complicated. Sorry. Okay, so we just create a folder here called like clear model. Okay, we call this body. Export, and you can see that it's exporting all the textures along with the model. Okay, so now we can import it. Clear model body. And here it is. Okay, so personally I really hate the silver look of the materials, so I'm just going to turn everything white, which is like the default Blender look for models. You can also test the rig if you want. You can, now we have the model imported, so you can do anything you want. You can move bones just to see how everything's looking. Yeah, the leg here looks very bad. That's because they use these other two bones to like fix the legs. Yeah, it's very weird. Okay, so now we have clear imported. This is one of the main things you obviously have to do to transfer Clear's weight to the custom model that you want to port to the game. Okay, so for this tutorial I'm going to port Lara Croft from Temple of Osiris. I don't know why, I just had the idea of porting her for this tutorial. Okay, so we just wait for the model to be loaded. Okay. So I don't know if this is the very first time that you're trying to do custom models. But if it is, then I'm going to show you everything in a detailed way. I'm sorry for the people who already know the principles of character modding, but yeah, I'm just gonna show everything in a pretty detailed way. Okay, so we have the model that we want to replace, which is Claire's body, and then we have the model that we want to replace. So the first thing to do is to basically copy the pose of Claire's body, because you see that Lara's arms, for example, they are straight like this, while Claire's pose is quite different. You can see that the arms are, the elbows are bent a little bit. So we have to basically copy Claire's pose in every detail. The fingers, the legs, the body doesn't really matter, just the shoulders, the arms, the elbows. So we're just going to do that right now. Okay, I think, no, okay, like this, it's good. Oh, actually, let me do something, wait, before I forget, let me enable, I don't have the screencast keys, oh my god, okay. I am so unorganized, oh my god. I also enabled screencast keys, which is a plugin, a Blender plugin, which is basically will show you every single key that I'm going to hit, so that you can also like learn all the many of Blender's shortcuts, because Blender is basically made of shortcuts. You do everything with shortcuts. Okay, so we can just start already posing the model to clear. This is probably one of the most tedious processes when modding characters, because obviously every single character has different proportions, so you really have to be kind of skilled on this if you want your model to look good. Okay. Well, this is just a tutorial, so I'm not gonna get too much into this. I mean, you know what to do. You have to pose the model exactly like clear. And in some cases, like in this case, you will have to make either the elbow longer or the hand longer or the fingers longer, and this is going to basically kind of not get the original proportions of your model. Unfortunately, there's really no choice. You have to do this because each limb has to exactly match Clear's skeleton. Also, I should mention that in some skeletons, you can actually, when you modify like this part of the limb, in some skeletons, it can actually also automatically edit the other side by just hitting this button, and then every action that you do, like on a side of the body, will also be done on the other side. This is not the case because Lars bones here are named in a very bad way, like bone 091. So you can actually just rename the bones in something like elbow L, and then do the same to the other side, elbow R. Then you just, yeah, then you see that it copied the position from the other bone. I'm not going to rename each bone right now because it's time wasting, and I'm not gonna do that. But now you know that you can actually also just make the other side of the body just copy the everything you do to the other side of the body. Okay. I'm not going to cut this part of the video so that you can see everything that I am doing, every step of doing this. Okay, let me also do the legs. This should be good enough. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the thumb. What the fuck? Okay, I think we are done with this, probably. Yeah, okay, I think this is pretty decent. Yeah, okay. As you saw, when I made the elbows a little bit longer, now the shape of the elbow is a little bit weird. It doesn't look great. If you want to improve it, you actually can. You can do it with like some proportional editing. If you don't know what proportional editing is, it's basically a mode which allows you to not only edit one vertex, but all the vertices that are near it. You see that I selected one vertex, but it's also moving vertices that are near the one that I selected, which is very useful. It can allow you to fix a lot of deformations, but in this case I think some sculpting will probably help more. Some not too much, like 3 or something. I'm not great at this, so if you're probably better at this than I am, but this looks decent, I guess. Actually, let me undo this, because it's better if I do this in a later, because I can show you something later. Okay. Let me save this. Okay, for this model, things are actually a little bit weird, but I think the body being here is fine. I can just take this to the head, it's fine, okay. Sorry if you did not understand what I was doing, but basically every model that you port to a video game via modding is very different. Like, the process can be very different for every different model that you port. So in this case I was just checking if I could keep the whole part here to the head mesh of clear. I think I can. So I'm going to show you how to do the weight painting now. But before I get into that, I should actually merge the whole model here, so that I don't have to skin every single piece of the model. Before doing that, though, we should probably separate the model via materials. So I will create a new material here called arms. Then this one, call it shirt. Then gear. Okay, and that should be it, right? Okay, so I'm just going to merge the model. Okay, and now if I select a material, then press select, it will separate the polygons that are using that material, and I can just make them separate again. Okay, so now we're going to do the weight painting. I actually also have to do this with clearest model. Hold on, because yeah. Okay, let me delete this. Actually, I think the best way of weight painting is actually doing it from a nude model, because nude models have less things going on. Like, you can see the jacket here and all the wrinkles, and in some cases it can cause the weight painting on your model to be a little bit janky. So in some cases it's better to use a nude model for skinning. But I'm not going to show that now, because obviously it's a little bit of a gray area, because not every modder might want people to use their mod for skinning. Okay, let me just merge clears model. What else? So I don't need this. I don't need this. Let me also remove the necklace here. Okay. These are the boots. Okay. So now I can actually weight paint Lars model, but before doing that, apply the armature modifier, then remove all the vertex groups that are Lars original vertex groups, and now we can do the weight painting. Transfer weights, go here and by name. Okay, now put Lars model in clears skeleton. Okay, and now we can see that Lars model is moving with clears the skeleton. You can see that there are parts of the model which are have a little bit of janky skinning. Every time I do the transfer weights, I always also do smooth, factor 1, subset all groups, and then 3 iterations. And now the skinning should be way better. Yeah, it should be a little bit more smoother. Yeah, it is always the weird leg thing because of the these other two bones that are used for fixing it. Yeah, okay. Also, don't forget to do merge by distance so that all the double... Oh, it was already done. Okay. Yeah, because when you smooth the weights, the edge loops are actually going to separate while you are moving a bone, and that's also going to happen in game, so always remember to do that. Now the thing that I wanted to show you before is that obviously in the game there will be animations where the arms won't be bent like this, but they will be like this. So what you should do is to move the bone like this and then fix the deformations while the bone is moved, so that you can make the arm look good when it's bent normally. I don't think you even understood what I just said, because it was said in a very weird way, but yeah, it's basically just fixing the deformation. Okay, this looks decent, I guess. Okay. This does look great, but yeah, this also doesn't look great. I don't know if you can actually... You can try to fix this, I guess. I'm not gonna get into it now. Then also do the same for the other arm, of course. By the way, I am not in any way an expert, so don't think that what I'm doing is also what you should do. This is just what I feel comfortable doing, but I'm sure that there's definitely better ways of doing this, of like fixing deformations. There's definitely better ways. This is just what I know, and so this is what I do. Okay, this should be good enough. Okay. Okay, now I can separate the model again. Oh, no, before separating the model, let's do a couple of operations which are limiting the number of weights per vertex, because okay, let me see if I can explain this to you. Basically, skinning is a process where every vertex is tied to a certain number of bones. If you select a vertex and then you go to item, you can see that it's tied to these 8 bones. Um, the reason why it's tied to more bones is that it will make the deformations smoother. So if it was only tied, let me show you. Let me see. I move this arm and you can see that it's pretty smooth. But if I limit the weights to like 2, you can see it's much worse, because basically the vertex is only being affected by 2 bones. Many different engines have different limit for the vertex weights. The most common one is 4. So commonly the limit of weights per vertex is 4, but RE Engine is 8, which is awesome, because in this case you can have models, very high poly models, still look good in the game, because the limbs will still look very smooth. Okay, so yeah, we limit the weights to 8 because that's the limit of this engine, and then we also normalize the weights. What this does, it basically it makes sure that every vertex weights add up to 1. You can see all these different number of influences. If you sum up all of these, you will get 1, and that's basically what normalize does. It makes sure that every weight adds up to 1. Okay, now we can separate the mesh parts. Here, okay. Let me delete these materials here because they're useless. Okay. I save this. Okay, no, so now an extra thing that I have to do with this model is to no, I don't even need to do this actually. Okay, so before we go ahead, there's something I need to explain you. This game uses 2 UV maps. The first one is obviously for the diffuse textures, the normal maps, the ambient occlusion, and everything. The second UV map is used for like the blood splattering, the blood mask basically. But if you use Blender, unfortunately, there's a bug with Noesis. I think only for a certain type of models that are very high poly. And what Noesis is going to do is it's going to corrupt the second UV map, which is going to cause the game stuttering while shooting to enemies. This happens because while you're shooting enemies, the game is going to calculate the blood splatter on the second UV map, and if it's corrupted, then it's going to stutter because obviously it doesn't know what to do. So I'm going to show you real quick if this even actually happens. Let me export the model just in the desktop to test this. Okay, and then I go to desktop, RE data viewer. Okay, the first UV is fine. Second UV doesn't even exist. Tools, data viewer, meshes, -0. Okay, UV1 is fine, UV2 is fine, UV2 is fine also here. Okay, so actually this didn't happen now in this case, which is good, but you still have to be careful because it can happen with very high poly models. And if it happens, all you have to do is to delete the second UV map, and what the exporter is going to do is it's just going to copy the first UV map to the second one, and that's it basically. The blood mask unfortunately is not going to look good in most cases if it does that, but there's little to nothing you can do about it for now at least. So yeah. Okay, we are close to getting to the end of the model process. The last thing you need to do is to name your meshes. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the process of using the rewrite function. Rewrite is a feature of the Noesis plugin, which basically allows you to export your model from scratch. So that means you can have your own count of sub-meshes, main meshes, LODs, anything. So that's awesome. And you can also have your custom material names. So yeah, that's really amazing, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so you just copy the name from Claire's mesh. You copy it here. So let's call this arms mat sub 1. The number of sub mesh here doesn't even actually matter, and not even the main mesh name. You will have to adjust these. You will have to adjust the main mesh number via 010 editor if you really need to. I'm going to show you this later. Okay. Now this is the shirt. And this is the gear. Okay, I think we are ready to export, but before doing that, I don't know if I told you, but I didn't tell you. You need the Fluffy Manager mod, the Fluffy Mod Manager. Okay, which is this one. No, this is the one for Resident Evil 8. But yeah, you just search for the mod manager. I'm going to put a link in the description. Sorry, I'm not professional. So yeah, you just download this and then you unpack it and you have the mod manager, and again you can place it anywhere you want. I have it in the documents folder, and then you have Fluffy's mod manager, games, RE2R, mods, and here you can create your folder for your own mod. In this case, I'm going to create this now. Going to call it just Laura Temple Osiris. Okay. What you need to put in this folder is basically just the folder which will point to the model. So I can actually just copy paste this because I'm lazy. Actually, no, let me copy paste this. Ah, mano, mano, mano. Mano, mano, mano. Okay, so I just copied the natives folder from my LE mod, so I don't have to recreate each folder individually again. Okay, let me delete all this except PL 1000. Okay. Okay, so now we can export our custom model in the new folder that we created. So FBX, can go here. Mesh. Okay. And now with Noesis, we go to the folder we just created. And then to the file, export, RE2, and now it's going to export it with the rewrite function automatically. Actually, it does it automatically because I set it with the Noesis plugin. If you go to the Noesis plugin and you edit it, you can edit it with whatever text editing software you have, and you can set always rewrite to true. I also advise you to set to true the import material names, shorter names, and yeah, I think only these two. I should have actually said this before, but I forgot. Sorry, but now you know. Okay, and you successfully converted your model to a mesh file. So we can actually already like go in the game by enabling the mod. Actually no, wait. Before doing that, you need to rename the file because Noesis always adds this out suffix to the file name, so you just remove that. Okay, and now you can launch the game and you should be able to see the model. let's go to bonuses, models, clear jacket, and you can see that our model is here. As you can see, there's no textures because we didn't put the textures yet. We will do it in a moment. I'm just noticing something weird with UVs. What's that? I don't know. I think that's because the UVs are too far away. I don't know. But okay. Okay, so what we need to do now, first of all, we should probably start converting the textures so that I can also show you how to do it. Okay, so you just you can do this with any photo editing program, probably, but you have to make sure that it's a photo editing program that can allow you to view the alpha channel. I think Paint.net and GIMP actually can't do this, if I remember correctly. You need to be able to edit the alpha channel, because the alpha channel, you need to paint it in very specific ways. Like I think in this case, the alpha channel of the diffuse map should be black. Okay, so I'm going to first of all I'm going to give you an example of how textures in this engine works. Okay, let's start by checking out Clear's textures. So this is the jacket diffuse texture, and you can see that it says ALBM. What it stands for is albedo metallic. So the RGB channels are just the diffuse texture, and the alpha channel is the metallic map. So you can see that, for example, in the jacket textures, actually this is the low resolution one, I think. Yeah, let's go to the streaming folder so I can show you the high resolution one. Because basically how this game works is that in the section root folder, you have the textures in a lower resolution for better performance when you set the textures to low, and in the streaming folder you have the textures that are higher resolution for the high settings. Okay, so here we are. So you can see that if I hit this button a couple of times, I can see the RGB channels. If I hit it again, I can also see the alpha channel. So you can see that a lot of the texture is almost not visible, and that's because the alpha is almost black there. So the how do I say this? The blacker the alpha channel is, the less metallic that part of the texture is. So you can see that, for example, like the necklace here, it's very bright. That's because this part of the alpha channel is white. So this will be very metallic. This will show in the game in a very metallic way, if you understand what I mean. This is very embarrassing, sorry. So then we have the normal map, which is kind of the same, because the first the RGB channels are just the normal map, and then the alpha channel is the roughness. You can see on NRMR, normal roughness. So the wider the alpha channel is, the more rough the texture will be, and the more black, the shinier it will be. Okay, I hope you understood this. Even if you didn't, you can just test things yourself with the textures to see exactly how it works. And then we have the ADOS texture. The ADOS texture is basically, it's mainly for the ambient occlusion map. The red channel is for alpha channel. So for example, for hair, for the hair texture, the alpha channel, instead of being in the diffuse textures alpha channel, it'll be in the ADOS texture red channel. Then the green channel is for translucency, but I think that channel is always black. And then the blue channel is for the ambient occlusion map. Okay, so I think we can start doing this. If you want to check how to color your alpha channel for the different maps, you can actually just extract like clear textures, and you can take example of how they did that and replicate it on your textures. In this case, I already know that I need to paint it like this, which is like almost plain black, but not actually plain black, because that's not gonna be good. That's not gonna look good. Okay, and then I can just save this as a TGA. Save the textures as TGA. Don't use DDS, because you don't need to use DDS. You can use TGA, because the Noesis plugin allows you to export the textures from I think a lot of formats like PNG, GPG, DDS, BMP, but the best one is TGA, because it just gives you the most quality, like the highest quality for your textures. At least that's what I know. I might be wrong, I don't know. But okay, so now you go to the folder of your mod. Short player, okay. I am placing my textures in the section root folder, and you might be like, oh no, you don't have to do this, because then it will not show up when the game settings are high. Actually, the Noesis plugin exports every single texture with the streaming flag, because there's a streaming flag inside the texture files, so you don't have to worry about creating a streaming folder for your textures. You can just put them in the section root folder, and they will always appear no matter what, because the streaming flag is ticked on the textures when they are exported with the Noesis plugin. Okay, so I can call this like PL 2000 1000 shirt up the text. Okay, then I can do the normal map. Lara doesn't really have yeah, she has a metallic map, but it's kind of weird, like I don't know exactly. Maybe it should be inverted, probably. I'm just not going to use Lara's maps at all. I'm just going to paint like some gray like this. It should be fine. I always have to. Yeah. Okay, shirt and RMR. Okay. Lars model here doesn't have any ambient occlusion map, so I'm going to show you later how to deal with this. You don't have to make a nulled ADOS map. I can show you later how to do this just with the materials. Okay, then I'll need the gear. For the gear, I can actually use the metallic map probably, because it looks better, I think, than the shirt one. Let me increase the size. Oh, this is wow. Okay. Okay, normal map. Then the arms, yeah. Okay, so we are done with the textures because I exported every single texture that was used by the meshes that I exported. Okay, now we have to pass on another. Wait, no. Before going into that, I shall show you how to export the textures. Okay, so let's see. With Noesis, you just select the texture, export. Then you choose .10, which is the RE to Remake texture format. Browse. Then you should go to selecting a streaming texture. Character player. Okay. I'll just going to choose the jacket texture, and I'll do the same for the other ones. Okay. Okay, so now we need to remove, as always, the suffix of the names, which is that out there. We don't want that because it's ugly. Okay, now we can pass on the next process, which is setting up the materials, because for now our model is using Claire's original material for the body, but what we need to do is we need to edit it. The best tool for editing the material files for now is Silver's MDF Manager, which you can find in the Modding Haven Discord server. I will also put a link to the Modding Haven Discord server. You can join it if you need help or anything. You can ask anyone. RE tools. Let me find it. Okay, I'll post a link to the GitHub. Okay, this is the GitHub of the MDF Manager. You just go here, 1.2, you download it. It's a zip file, it's not an executable. I'm just gonna search MDF Manager here, I'll find immediately. Okay, after you open the MDF Manager, you just drag and drop the MDF file in here, then click on here and you can see all the properties of the format. The model that we are trying to port only has 3 materials, so we can delete all the ones that we don't need. Radio, sling, gun, tank top shirt. I'll leave the tank top. I'll leave body and um, jacket probably, yeah. Okay, and we can rename this to the materials that we actually have. So I'm going to rename this to gear, and this to shirt, arms, yeah, arms. Okay, save. Actually, you don't need to save because we still need to do some editing here. So you can see that on the right here we have a lot of names. These names are basically the names for the textures. So like the base metal map is basically the diffuse map, normal roughness is the normal map, and then the alpha translucent occlusion is the ADOS map. So for gear, we go to base metal map. We rename this to gear. The capital letters are there just for beauty, I think. I don't. You can also just put it not capital. I think it should be fine. But I just copy what the developers did. So okay, now we can copy paste this here and rename this to an RMR. So for the ADOS map, we can actually point the path to a nulled ADOS map. We can do that basically if you go to pl.hasen here. If you go to the extracted files, native 664, and you go to systems and the rendering, you can see that there's a lot of textures: null ADOS, null black, null normal, null normal roughness. So what you can do is you can just name the path in systems rendering null ADOS.text. So in this way it's using the null ADOS texture, which is basically as if your model had no ADOS, which is our case because our model has no ambient occlusion that we can put on the textures. And you can do this for all the materials before you go ahead and also change the paths for arms, then shirt, okay, now you save the file, and if you import your custom model with the materials loaded, you should see all the materials loaded with the textures, and here they are. Now you have your model with all the textures. You can see that there's also the belt that's shiny because of the roughness map. The UVs look a little weird, but I think I know why. The reason why the UVs look weird is because they are very far away from the model. This happens when you export some models from some games, but it's a very easy fix. You just okay. I need to enable screen cascades here too. Okay, that's weird. Okay, now the UV's issue should be fixed, hopefully. Let me check the date, okay. It's not fixed yet, okay. I don't know why. What's wrong? Maybe I need to yeah, let me do this. Wait. First of all, let me delete the second UVs here. Maybe those are the problem, because I can't think. I mean, I can think of something else that might be the problem, but usually the Noesis plugin just fixes that by itself. Wow, okay. Oh, I fixed the second UV. Okay, okay. Instead of fixing the main UV, I was fixing the second one. Okay. Now it should be fine. This is why I despise every time someone says that modding is easy. Yep. Okay, finally, it's all fixed. Nice. So it looks much better now. And if we go in game, we should see everything working. If nothing goes wrong, but I don't think so. I think everything should be fine now. Also, let me lower the volume of the game because it's way too high. Okay. Bonuses, models. Here we are. We have our model with textures. Cool. The animations are working. You can also go in game and see how the gameplay looks with your model. Okay, I need to change the outfit. Here we are. We have a Lara Croft mod working. Well, obviously it's not complete yet because we still have to do the head and hair, but we'll get to that later. It's already an achievement if you managed to get the body working, to be honest. When I was doing this the first time, it took like a week to get something working because I was a noob, obviously. Okay. Okay, so I showed you how to port the body mesh with the rewrite function, which is a feature of the plugin. But if you don't actually, if you want to know the original way of porting the models, basically the way it will be is just you import Clear's model, so clear body. The way it will be is that you will have to rename your meshes the same as Clear's. So like for the shirt you will do the jacket, supposedly. Actually maybe you will do the tank top, since the tank top has the detail map, which is definitely more suitable. For the gear you will probably do the backpack, and yeah, if you're going to do this the original way, then you will have to also disable the always rewrite option in the Noesis plugin. Okay, so in this case we are going to continue using the rewrite function since it's very useful. Okay. So now we're going to port the head this time. So let's import Clear's head. I didn't. You just remember to always extract the original mesh to FBX to import it to Blender. Okay, let me remove all these materials. Okay, so you can see that Lars' head doesn't really match with Clear's. The eyes, especially the eyes, are the most important thing that must match. So what we're gonna do here is to move the bones of the model so that we can more uh, accurately match Lars' head to Claire's. Fucking planes passing here. So you select a bone in pose mode on Lars' skeleton, and then you use G to grab, and then try to make the eyes match with the original model. The eyes are, again, the most important thing that you must match. Let me check something. It is fine, not really. I'd prefer moving this one. Okay. This looks decent. Okay. The neck here will have kind of a weird deformation. You can fix that with the sculpt mode. You can make it a little bit smoother. Yeah, this looks a little bit better. Okay. One of the first things that I do when I do faces is to check if the eyes actually move correctly. This mesh here is useless. So what I do is I just scan the eyes to Claire's eye bones. Okay. I have no idea why Lars' eyes are so weirdly skinned. But actually, I think I already made a tutorial for face modding. You can actually also watch that for faces. I explain a very particular method. Okay, and after this, I parent the eyes to Claire's skeleton. Also, let me make the bones a little bit smaller because this is very confusing. Okay. Okay, so they are decent. They poke a little bit out of the face, but that's actually more noticeable in your 3D program than it will be in the game. Especially this one. This one is not really noticeable. The eye will not rotate too much. Anyway, I think like this is the maximum. This one, I think it will be more notice. No, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. Okay. What's this thing here? Oh, it's okay. Also, as you can see, I don't know if you saw this, but Lara's eyebrow and eyelashes work with an alpha channel, while Claire's original eyebrows and eyelashes are made just with geometry. What you can do is you can just use Claire's eyelashes and eyebrows. You can adapt them to Lars' eyes with a little bit of editing the geometry. It's actually not that hard. You should be able to do it. Yeah, this is very decent already. And then for the eyebrows, we'll get to that later. Wait. But I will also show you how you can port Lars' original eyebrows with the alpha channel. Okay. Okay, this looks decent. Not really. Okay, this looks decent. So yeah, you can just use Claire's eyebrows and eyelashes if you want, or if you want to use the original Lara meshes, I will show you later how to do that. Okay, so let's skin the head, I guess. Hold on. Let me save. So the thing with this head is that it also has a huge portion of the body. So a little bit of the body has to be skinned to the spine bone. But also, let me check something else. Okay, that shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. What you could do is you could split the face mesh so that the lower part goes to the body. But I think I can actually manage to just make everything stay in this mesh here. I think, I'm not sure. We're gonna have to try. So, let me repeat the things that I do in the face porting tutorial, which is making a blend shape here with the opened face, with the open lips. What? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. So yeah, this model has stitched lips. Oh my god. I don't remember how to fix this. I think I just need to separate the polygons here. And then do this, and then merge by distance. Wait, no, because it's still separated. Okay. Okay, this should be fine, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let me now adapt Clear's face to Laura's. Let me delete the teeth because we don't need the teeth, we only need the face. I think that in that tutorial, what I do is that I actually also shrink wrap Clear's face to the one that I want skinning on, but actually I figured out that it's better to not do the shrink wrap. It gives better results. I don't know why I did that in that tutorial. I probably thought that it would give better results, but then later I tried to do it without, and it was better actually. Let me also delete these useless double faces because we don't need them. I think probably only in the game, in the original game, since oh my god, I forgot to enable screencast keys. Oh my god. So bad. Oh, we'll take care of that later. Okay. I think I can already do wait, let me also make this like this since Lara has way much more body. Okay. I don't get it. What did I do? actually had to do it before skin wrap. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, this looks good. The body doesn't look good. I think that I have to just manually skin it to the spine 2 bone. Let me just try to manually do it like this. Okay, looks better already. Okay, this is much better. Maybe also here on the back a little bit. Okay, this looks decent. Also the sides a little bit. Okay, this actually looks better than I expected. Okay. Yeah, this looks nice. I actually didn't expect it to look this good. So for the eyes, as I said, it will be fine in game, more or less. Let's test actually. Let me limit the weights to 8. Also normalize. UV is just 1. The teeth also, we need to do the teeth. But actually, no, okay. For the teeth, I actually prefer to just do it manually because it's not a very complicated mesh. You just skin the lower part to the teeth bone and then the rest to the head bone. There are also tongue bones. You can skin them if you really want, but I don't think they are really used in the game, in the animations, so you can also not bother with them. It's fine. Let me do something. I will make a blend shape here. Okay. Okay. Should be fine. We can actually merge it with the face because no, not this face. We can delete this. Where's, oh, okay. We can actually merge it with the face because it uses the same texture. But before doing that, let me, yeah. Again, okay. What? Oh, yeah. Okay, nice. This is Clear's eyes. Yeah, we don't need them. But we actually need the out mesh. You see eyes and no, this is the in. I deleted the out ones. Okay, so eyes in, you can delete this, but the eyes out, they are actually used to add the reflection effect to the eyes, so you should keep them. Okay, this is good. Maybe even scale a little bit more. Okay. Let's rename the meshes. Okay, I think we should be ready to export. Probably. Let me check. Sorry, it's my chair. It's fucking loud. Okay. Actually, I forgot to do something, probably. Yeah, I did. I forgot to do something. Basically, you know that the whole skeleton has 2,256 bones, right? But unfortunately, when using the right, there's an issue where if you have all the bones, it's going to make the mesh invisible. So we need to delete a couple of bones. The ones that I remove are always these ones. I just merge them with the parent. Okay. They are irrelevant, really. They don't affect the animations that much. Also, let me remove the vertex colors because they are useless. We don't need them. Okay. Okay, now we should do the textures probably, because we didn't do the textures yet. Let me rename this. Let's do the textures of the head. In the alpha of the diffuse, I can probably put I don't know. Actually, this should be the roughness. So I should just make this black. And then for the normal map, wait, the head has no normal map? Oh, it's there. Okay. Okay. And again, the face also has no ambient occlusion map, so we're just going to put a null ATIS. Oh, also I need to do the eyes. The eyes is just gonna be a white alpha channel. And also here, I think. Let me check how I did the other um, eyes. Wait. But it should be better if I just make it all white, probably. Okay. Export them. Mm-hmm. If I run this, it shouldn't work because we still need to, we still need to do the material. So let's take the head material from Claire's original files. We remove the tier line because we don't have it. We have, oh, we just, oh, okay. It's just these ones, okay. So now it should probably work. What? Oh, it's probably for the names, okay. This is weird. I don't get it. It should be loading the files from the modded files, not the originals. Did I rename this correctly? Face, yeah. Like if I go in game, it should actually give me the modded files, right? See, this is the thing with modding. Not everything always goes as expected. But this is weird, it shouldn't happen. Why does this happen? I put the correct files here. Oh my god, sorry, I forgot. I forgot about deleting the out suffix. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Happens. So now we should have the correct textures. Yes, okay. And also for the eye, right? Yeah, but for the eye, we still need to put the correct normal map for it. And also the roughness, yeah, because it uses a lot of stuff. Okay, let me see if it's working. Everything is existing, okay. So let's try again. Let me also lower the volume of the game again. Otherwise you can barely hear me, okay. Okay, there's still something weird going on with the eyes. I'm not sure what that is. Is it the out mesh? I think it's the out mesh. And we also need to add the what is that? What is that thing there? What is this? I think it's because we need to add the double vertices, probably. So yeah, let's do that. Seams from islands. Seam edge split. Wait, no, that's not right. That's not the problem. It must be something else. The UVs are correctly placed. Oh, the eyes are not correctly placed. They are to Narnia. Not sure what's wrong with the eyes out. They should be fine. Let me re-export with the correct position of the eyes. Let me actually export without the eyes out to see if that's the problem. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, everything is looking fine. Let's check in game. Okay, so everything is working fine. So the problem is indeed the eyes out. I'm not sure what exactly is the problem with that. Let me re-add the material. Not from here. Not from here. Maybe it's the second UV, but I don't think so. Let me check another file for a second. It's fine here, so I'm not sure what's going wrong. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, now it's working. I'm not sure what I did wrong before, but now it's working. Don't question it. Just don't question it. I'm still not sure what this thing here is. It's probably like oh, okay, I know what it is. I know what it is. I forgot to do something. Wait, let me add the material. I forgot to add the null adders, which is very important. Okay, now everything should actually be fine. Yeah, okay. Also, the weird eye socks disappeared because it was because of the ADOS. Okay, so let's actually go in game and see how this looks in cutscenes, but also in the idle animations. Okay. I think it's not really possible to judge them from here, so it's better if we go in a cutscene or something. The one in here, maybe?
is this thing?
Okay, so I don't know if you saw, but the teeth is a little bit weird because it's a little bit too in a very high spot. So we could actually let me check this better. Yeah, it's we need to lower it a little bit. Yeah. It's definitely in a very high spot. So that's an easy fix. We just need to lower it a little bit. Uh, something like this should be enough, hopefully.
Your ass again.
Okay, yeah, this looks 100 times better.
This ends now.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something else now. Now we learned how to mod the head and the body. Okay, so we are almost done with our full character port, and now the last missing thing is only the hair. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do the hair. So as you can see here, actually, Lara's hair is floating on the hair. It's not posed like on the backpack. We I think that you can also actually just leave the hair like this and just skin rope it, and then you will have to move bones and stuff, but I'm not gonna show that today because I never actually tried it myself, so I don't even know if it actually works. So what we have to do here is we have to pose Lara's hair to be something like this. Okay, so the hair skinning of this hair mesh sucks, so I have to fix it a little bit myself. Yeah, it really sucks. Okay, let's start with the front part, because the front part is actually just going to be skinned to the head bone. Also, let me import the hair, Claire's hair, characters, Claire hair. Okay, let me delete this part because it's useless. Okay, let me put this in like this. Okay, so I don't think we actually even need to move bones for this hair because it is quite like Claire's, so it should be fine to just skin rub it. But the problem is that it looks very bad. I'm not even sure how to fix it actually. Maybe, oh yeah, with a little bit of smooth brush, and it should be have a much better result. Yeah, okay. Still, the hair kinda looks a little bit too low poly, maybe. For the overall model is very much higher poly than the ponytail. So what I will do is to subdivide it, and to do it I will firstly swap the tris to quads, subdivision surface. Okay, and I think this is a bit better. Let me get the tris again. Are the UVs fine? Yeah, okay. Also for the top head. What? Okay. Okay. So, I think that here I only want to skin wrap the ponytail part, because the head, this part here, I think it's just gonna be like on skin to the neck and the head. This part is only gonna be on the head, so let me quickly do that. This is the hair sculpting, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me name it, because otherwise it's kind of confusing. Okay. Let me check the weights of. I think that the best way of doing this is basically making a copy of the head and the skeleton. Okay. Then delete, merge the face bones to the parent bones. What is this? Is this the teeth? Yeah, okay, we're also going to merge the teeth. So by doing this, you are making a copy of the face mesh without the face weight. So in this way, you can basically just skin wrap the head to the hair, so that you have exactly like the most accurate weights, and they will be like the hair here will act the most accurate to the movement of the head. I don't know if you even understood what I just said, but yeah, it's just like that. I'm going to merge these bones. Okay, so now we have not this, but this one. Okay, now I can skin wrap this. Wait, I need to fly the skeleton first. Then delete this. No. Yes. Now we can smooth them. I'm not sure if this is going to look good. Let me try. Wait, before smoothing, let me put this in the hair skeleton. Also, let me delete this because we don't need it anymore. Let me see when it's smoothed. Okay, this looks decent. This looks good, I'd say. Okay, so yeah, we are only missing the ponytail right now. Let's do the ponytail. Here too. I can actually lower it a little bit so that it has better results. Like this, more or less. Okay, this looks very bad, but I think just by smoothing we can actually already make it a little bit better. Yes, okay. That happens, I think, because yeah, basically the way Clear's hair works is that it has 3 strands, so that there's a little bit more of differentiations between the hair strands. But in this case, I think it's not going to look good. So I think it's better if I just merge her hair bones all together so that it works better. Yeah, I'm just going to do this to this, this to this. This is not even working, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, let's try smoothing. And it definitely looks much better. Yeah. Now, actually, what you can do is also to adapt the bone positions so that they fit better to Laura's. You can move it here, a little bit upper. Okay. This one, a little bit like this. The last one is, oh, the last one works. Okay. This should be fine. Yeah, okay, let me try moving them all. Okay, and you can also delete these ones because it's fine. Okay. Okay, I think we can test it. Before testing it, actually, let me talk about a little bit of the textures because the way this Lara hair works is that the top part, this hair mesh, uses this texture, which has no alpha channel. I mean, it does, but it's all white, so the whole texture has to appear. Meanwhile, this other side of the hair and this one too, they have to be together. They have an alpha channel because they use this texture. So we have to basically use 2 materials for this. So let me name the hair one to the top part, while hair 2 I'll name to the other one. Okay, let me limit the weights to 8. Okay, and we shall be good to export. Hopefully nothing explodes. No. Okay. Export with rewrite always. Okay, done. Need to go all the way there. Actually, I could just exactly, okay. Okay. So now we should probably check how the original hair textures look. I think I have them extracted here. Yeah, okay. This is just the albedo with the alpha. And I can name this in like Alba 2, I guess. Oh my god, why do I always have to go back there? Alba 2. Okay. For the on-RMR and the ADOS, I think I'm just gonna put a null there, I guess, because Lars here doesn't have an alpha channel at all. It doesn't have a normal map at all, and not an ADOS map, so I think I'm just gonna get the material. MDF Manager. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Okay, so here 2 is to this, and that goes to, wait, Alba 2. Okay. Which also goes here. Then we put the ADAs here. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay, what's wrong here and what's wrong here? Oh, right. I didn't even export the textures. How was I expecting anything to work? Okay, everything seems to be working fine. So we can test in game. What's going on here? I think I have the FOV. Yeah, okay. What's going on? Oh, okay. Okay, here we are. The hair physics is working. The hair is kind of shiny. I think it's because of the normal map roughness. Maybe I have to... And also the alpha channel is not working for whatever reason on the ponytail. I have to check that out. Oh, I know why it's not working. I know why it's not working. Okay. It's not working because I put a null ADAS, but that's not the right thing to do because the ADAS needs the alpha channel of the hair. So let me quickly do this. Actually, it should be fine for this. Let me just do this for the one with the alpha channel. Okay, no, this needs to be white. Thank you. And then I have to make like a nulled normal map. Let me do it with this, I guess. And I'll make this just total more or less white. Actually, no, let me let it like this. Okay, let me export them first. This is here too. No! That's not what I was supposed to do. ADAs. I need to export it over the ADAs, yes. And the normal map over the normal map. Yes, okay. Where am I? Oh. Okay, let's see if everything's working. Supposedly everything's working here. We need to check in-game, because basically how it works is that the Noesis preview is going to show you the alpha channel of the albedo alpha map, but in reality the game doesn't use that. The game uses the alpha channel of the that's in the red channel of the ADAs. So yeah, that's quite confusing. Okay, the alpha channel is working now. Why does Lara have no... Oh yeah, I know why. The hair is kind of still a little bit too shiny. Maybe if I use the script runner, it okay, never mind. My game is gonna hang because you need to wait like 2 minutes before running any scripts. Okay. So for the eyebrows and eyelashes not working, that's because they were using the hair texture, I think. So now I need to wait. Let me get to the eyebrows material. Yes, they're using the hair. So I think I just need to move the UVs to something like this. And then actually no, actually I just think I need to change the texture to Alba 2 and make it use a null ADAS probably. Okay. Okay, yeah. Now they are appearing again. Okay. Nice, so now we got the hair, and you might be wondering, why is the hair not colliding with the backpack? Of course, that's happening because Claire has no backpack, so she has no collision with something like that on her back. So if you want the collision to the backpack, you're gonna need to add it yourself by editing the chain file. That's not something that's very easy to do, because basically let me show you, let me just show you how to do this. Okay, so we bring here the hair chain file. We copy paste here, and now we run the chain template. I'm going to send you a link to the all the chain templates for this. It's probably in the Discord. I'm gonna just tell you. Okay, so the way you do this is you go to collisions, and you can see that there's a lot of collision blocks here. These are all like for the shoulders, for the head, for the neck. Um, the name of the bones joint name hash, for example, is the name of one of the bones that's going to collide to. One of the bones is going to collide you. Pair joint name hash, I have no idea what it is. I think it just tells like to copy paste the same settings to that bone there too, I think. I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm not going to do this right now because it's gonna be a bit of time taking, because basically what you need to do is first of all, let me tell you how you can discover how to get the right joint name hash for the bone you want to collide to. So the way you do that is you just type the name of the bone like here, like spine 2, and the hash will be just here. So you just copy it and then you paste it here, and then now it will collide to spine 2. I think there's already definitely a collision block for the spine. It should be around here. Yeah, here. This is the same one. If you try to copy paste it. So and then you need to play a little bit with the radius, the position of the colliding box. The box can be, I mean, the shape of the collision can be a lot. It can be a sphere, capsule, a plane. You need to decide yourself what kind of collision you want. Unfortunately, there's no way to edit the collisions with the enhanced model viewer, because that will be extremely useful, but it's not possible right now. So if you want to add a new collision, you need to do a lot of trial and error with the chain files. There's really no other way to do this for now. You really need to play around with the settings and see if you manage to add your custom collision successfully. Actually, it's not that hard. You can do it because I have my Angel of Darkness project here. This is a mod that I've been working for some months. It's basically a mod which is going to replace a lot of characters, weapons, sound effects with AOD Laras. And I managed to do something very cool, which is basically adding a collision for the backpack, but only on the outfit which actually has a backpack. So if I go to the main one, you can see that if I go to denim jacket, you can see that there's no the collision is just with the back. There's no backpack collision. And then there's the collision with the breasts, the shoulders. The collision with the breasts was actually added also by myself, because normally the game doesn't have a collision with the breasts. So now I go to the shorts outfit, and you can see that there. Wow. Okay. No, it's not added in the model viewer. It's only in the game. So let me quickly go in the game. Fucking airplanes fucking passing every 5 minutes here. Okay, so here you can see that there's no collision with like any backpack, because obviously she has no backpack. And then if I go to costumes, Lara shorts, See, she has the collision with the backpack. I added that myself with a lot of trial and error, as I said before. Um, so yeah, it's really a matter of having a lot of patience and finding the right values for the transform. And yeah, also let's see how the Temple of Osiris mod is coming along. Came along, because we're actually pretty much finished with it. We're actually pretty much done with it. Okay, no, this is the wrong outfit. Okay, and here we are. We have Lara Croft from Temple of Osiris modded in Resident Evil 2 Remake. With the hair physics, which looks pretty nice. Let me try grabbing a weapon. You can see that the hair is colliding with the shoulders, just like Claire's. Can you turn around the other way, please? Turn around the other way. Okay, just so I can show you the face a little bit. The eyes and the face textures. The metalness of the belt. The detail map of the gear. And also of the body. I don't know if you can see, but there's the detail map of the skin. Okay, so let me see if there's something else that I can show you. Okay, also one thing that you need to know is that you can't change, you can change, one thing that you need to know is that you can change bone positions of the hair, like I did before with the hair here. You can see that that I changed it, the bone positions, so that they could match the hair better. So you can change bone positions if they have physics. So if you try changing bone positions of the body, you can do it, but it will go back to the original position because of the animations. So it's quite useless. You can successfully do it if you edit the FBX scale file. The FBX scale file is a file that basically contains the whole skeleton of a female character, or a male character, or a child character, which in this case is Sherry and Emma. And then if you edit the bone positions of the FBX scale file, it will actually work. Your custom bone position will work, but only during gameplay. During cutscenes, the bones of the body will still go to the original positions. So it is really not worth it to change bone positions of the body. You always have to change the proportions of your characters so that they match the character that you want to replace in RE Engine. Unfortunately, there's no other way. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, so this was the modding tutorial on how to mod Resident Evil 2 Remake. As I said in the beginning, this whole process can also be used to mod almost any other RE Engine game. If you need any help, please join the Modding Haven Discord server, and we will help you as much as possible. If you have any questions, any doubts, please you can ask me. You can ask us in the server. There's a lot of talented modders in that server, like Mangaka, Evil Lord, Alpha Zomega, of course, Silver Ezerdis, Sky, and a lot of other very talented modders, which will help you during your modding journey. So the video is finished. I hope that I managed to explain everything in a pretty clear way. I don't think I did because I'm very I'm not very good at making tutorials, but I just saw that pretty much nobody did, so I came into the rescue and making this video so that I could at least show you the basics. And again, if you have any help, please refer to the modding Discord or just write in the comments here on YouTube. Even though I don't really look at them, so that's why I'm asking you to just ask in the server, also because there's more people there, so that more people can actually help you and not just me, because I don't know everything about modding RE Engine. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I can't wait to see what you actually make in modding RE Engine. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what you will do with this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.